Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Chidima Jarasin. Vice President Kashim Shettima says poor governance has a direct bearing on the spate of banditry and kidnapping in the northwest geopolitical zone of the country. Shettima spoke when he hosted the Coalition of Northern States Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, CONSIMA, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The coalition was led by its president, Dalhatu Abubakar. The vice president said re-engineering and re-strategizing affairs in the north is necessary to project the region into accelerated development. Shettima said stakeholders in the entire north have to go back to the drawing board, reassess the state of affairs in the region and come up with robust platforms for re-engineering Nigerian society. The Nigerian Labour Congress will begin a two-day warning strike on September 5, 2023, in preparation for a total shutdown, which will start in 21 days. The decision was taken at the end of its National Executive Council meeting, which was held in the early hours of Friday. A communiqué released by the Labour Centre and jointly signed by its national president Joe Ajaro and secretary Emmanuel Ugboaja said it decided to take the decision following the failure of the Tinubu government to enter into dialogue and engage stakeholders within the organized labour on efforts to cushion the effects of the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, on the poor masses. Already, the organized labour had in August staged a one-day protest which grounded activities in major cities across the country. While listing some of the other reasons why it would mobilize its members for the nationwide shutdown, the centre accused the Nigeria Police of laying siege to the national headquarters of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, alleged exploitation of the rights of workers in Imo State, interference in trade union matters by the Abia State government, proposed demolition by the new Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, among others. President Bola Tinubu has solicited the support of the United Nations in Nigeria's fight against terrorism in the light of its rippling effect on global peace, displacement of people and rising poverty. He made the appeal at an audience with the Under-Secretary General of the United Nations Office on Counter-Terrorism, Vladimir Voromkov, at the State House on Thursday. The president noted that terrorism had consistently reversed the gains on development and increased instability in families and communities. He said that the UN needs to be more consistent in dealing with it in the developing world context. Tinubu said that global peace and prosperity would demand a swift and comprehensive provision of the right answers to the challenges posed by insurgencies in parts of the world. The Under-Secretary General commended the country's contributions towards global counter-terrorism efforts. He said that Nigeria already had a framework on prevention, mitigation and reconciliation, adding that the efforts had been invaluable in tackling terrorism. Senator representing Zamfara West Abdulaziz Yari says some parts of the Zamfara state recorded progress recently in the fight against insecurity as a result of intervention by President Bola Tinubu through the Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA. Senator Yari, who was on his first official visit to President Tinubu, says since he assumed office at the State House in Abuja, added that the president is working closely with the security chiefs to further address the security challenges in the northwest and across the country. Judith Peters has details. The Armed Forces of Nigeria says the ongoing counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations across the country remain critical to the armed forces' efforts to achieve peace and ensure that violent extremist groups do not find safe haven in the country. Director of Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba made this known while briefing journalists on the operational activities of the Nigerian military in the last 2 weeks. He stated that the focus of the military is to conduct its operations in support of national security interests, adding the armed forces will continue to work with supportive groups to defeat any entity undermining security and safety in the country. Kikelama Okere brings us details.
That during the week leading to 31st of August 2023, the military neutralized 39 terrorists and arrested 157, stating that troops also rescued 109 kidnapped hostages. He also noted that the troops of Operation Safe Haven conducted raids and recovered arms in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The operation resulted in neutralized terrorists, arrested of notorious armed robbers, and rescue of kidnapped hostages in Jema local government area of Kaduna State.
Arrested 33 of them, rescued 40 kidnapped hostages, among others. More on the northwest, where we have Operation Wild Punch. Troops of Operation Wild Punch in the fight against terrorists rescued kidnapped hostages at Chikun and Birnin-Gwari local government areas of Kaduna State. Troops' offensive actions resulted in the arrest of suspected terrorists and the recovery of arms and ammunition.
Troops of Operation Delta Safe sustained the momentum against the activities of crude oil theft. Troops destroyed several illegal refining sites and recovered stolen products. Troops also intercepted and destroyed vehicles loaded with illegal refined products in Ugeli and Elema local government area of Delta State and Rivers State, respectively. However, troops arrested 16 perpetrators of oil theft and denying them of the sum of 765,863,000 naira.
On the 21st of August, Air Component conducted air interdiction over active illegal refining sites at ABC and Idama. The targets were engaged, destroying equipment and reservoirs used by the crude oil thieves. Additionally, the air component destroyed a boat fully loaded with illegal refined products sighted within the general area.
The Military High Command says it will continue to pursue aggressive military operations against violent extremist groups seeking to undermine the security of the country and conduct violence against the people. Kikelama Okere, Global Television News, Abuja. Major General
The federal government, through the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, has expressed its desire to maximize the generating capacity of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this during a recent visit to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Keyamo, who spoke through the head press and public relations of the ministry, Odutayo Oluseyi, stated that 60% of FAN's revenue comes from Lagos, emphasizing the need to utilize the new terminal effectively. He added that the new terminal boasts 60 check-in points and has the capability to handle a significant amount of air traffic. Keyamo also addressed the state of the old terminal, stating that it requires a complete overhaul. Notably, the central cooling system is not functioning and there are numerous areas that require maintenance. As a result, the minister directed all airlines operating in the old terminal to relocate their check-in counters to the new terminal within a period of 3 months. The federal government has said that it will decentralize fire response centers by opening up more response points equipped with fire trucks to cut down emergency response time. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo made this known during a familiarization visit to the national headquarters of the Federal Fire Service (FFS) in Abuja. He said the FFS as a key agency in safeguarding the lives and property of Nigerians, must be able to respond to emergencies within the shortest possible time, because fire accidents and related emergencies can wreak massive havoc within a short time. Controller General FFS Abdul Ganiyu Jaji said the service is bedeviled by attacks on firefighters by the public, a staff housing deficit, budgetary constraints, and the need for a befitting national headquarters. Jaji appealed the minister to keep the renewed hope agenda by bringing fire service closer to the people, thereby decreasing response time, which is one of our major challenges. The Nigerian Army has called on the Civilian Joint Task Force to avoid extrajudicial killings and respect human rights while carrying out its responsibilities of protecting their communities against the bandits in Zamfara State. Commander 1 Brigade of the Nigerian Army Gusau Brigadier General Sani Ahmed made the call during a donation of 100 sets of Bafeng communication radios as part of the Army's corporate social responsibilities to the host communities and to enhance the operational capacity of the Civilian Joint Task Force (CJTF) in the state towards restoring peace and security. Sandra Akbar has details.
Commander 1 Brigade of the Nigerian Army Gusau Brigadier General Sani Ahmed explained that the donation of 100 sets of communication radios to members is to improve civil-military cooperation and to aid the Civilian Joint Task Force in carrying out their responsibilities in securing lives and properties in their various communities effectively against the bandits. The brigade commander also charged them to adequately share credible information among the vigilantes and improve alertness in their communities.
Recently, we've given some of the communities motorcycles to aid their mobility while discharging their tasks. And it was brought to the fore the need for them to have a better means of communication in areas where the GSM coverage is lacking or none at all. In that regard, the command, Sector 1, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji decided to support further the civilian JTF by provision of radios, which you call walkie-talkies. These radios were configured and the channel streamlined for use by the civilian JTF, and it is well configured in a way that it will not be interfered with.
The chairman, Civilian Joint Task Force, Ahmed Mohammed, applauds the Commander 1 Brigade for his noble gestures, assuring that the Bafeng communication radios would greatly enhance their operational activities in the state. He further assured that they will operate according to the laid-down rules and regulations as well as respect human rights. Sandra Akbar for Global TV News.
Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has declared war on illegal charcoal business, warning that those found wanting will be dealt with severely. He said this while flagging off the 2023 tree planting campaign in Dugal, a community in Bauchi local government area. The governor ordered the employment of youths across the state to nurture nursery plants to supply the required number of trees to be planted in the state. He also directed chairmen of all the 20 local government areas and traditional rulers to embark on aggressive tree planting campaigns to save the environment. The Commissioner for Housing and Environment, Dalami Kawule, said the exercise is a roadside plantation covering over 12 kilometers from Miri to Mobile Filling Station on both sides of the road. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channels 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, Rivers State Governor urges President Tinubu to dismantle oil cartel to save Nigeria. We'll be right back after this break with these and other stories for you. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. President Bola Tinubu has been urged to redirect the ongoing fight against oil theft in the creeks of the Niger Delta region to powerful oil cartel in Abuja, who use their positions and influence to rob the country of its resources. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, who disclosed this, also faulted federal government ceding of contracts for security surveillance of oil pipelines in the hands of an individual or a few persons, asserting that the development won't help the fight against oil theft. Addressing the Joint Presidential Committee on Crude Oil Theft on facility tour of the Niger Delta, who were in Government House, Port Harcourt at the weekend, Fubara said until the federal government clamps down on the powerful Abuja cartel bankrolling oil theft, no amount of effort would end the economic sabotage associated with the crime. The Rivers State Chief Executive also noted that security of pipelines should not be placed in the hands of one man or a few individuals. The National Commissioner of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission NDPC, Vincent Olatunji, has disclosed that the Commission has formed a joint committee with the Central Bank of Nigeria to review the regulation mandating financial institutions to obtain social media handles, among other data of customers. He disclosed this in a two-day sensitization workshop on data privacy and protection in Abuja on Thursday. Earlier in June this year, the CBN mandated financial institutions to obtain the social media handles, email addresses, telephone numbers, residential addresses, and more of their customers. This formed part of its new customer due diligence regulations and is in a bid to further deepen the identification process in the banking system. The CBN stated that its new regulation was created to provide additional customer due diligence measures for financial institutions under its regulatory purview. However, the NDPC had kicked against the regulation, describing it as unnecessary. Also, he said the Commission is engaging in rigorous sensitization on the Nigeria Data Protection Act and capacity building of data protection officers and Nigerians. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, during the event expressed the federal government's commitment to the protection of digital platforms to build the confidence of citizens while online. On the foreign scene, SA federal judge on Thursday sentenced former far-right Proud Boys leaders Joseph Biggs to 17 years in prison and his co-defendant Zachary Will to 15 years after a jury convicted them of seditious conspiracy for storming the U.S. Capitol in a failed bid to overturn Donald Trump's 2020 election defeat. The prison terms handed down by U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly for Biggs and Will, the first Proud Boys convicted of seditious conspiracy to be sentenced for their role in the January 6, 2021 attack, were below U.S. sentencing guidelines and far lower than the 33-year and 13-year terms sought by federal prosecutors. Kelly said on Thursday he was not trying to minimize the violence that occurred in January 6th, but he noted that the event was still not on par with a mass casualty event and imposing a stricter sentence could create disparities. Minister for Sports John Eno has said in Lagos that his administration has endorsed the concession of the National Stadium in Surulere as well as other stadiums nationwide to private individuals who will help to revamp and maintain them. Eno, on his first official inspection of facilities at the National Stadium, Surulere, stated that the deplorable state of the stadium moved him to tears, adding that the only way to rescue the facilities is through a government-private sector partnership. Eno also emphasized the need to work closely with special athletes who have won many laurels for the country at international engagement, saying that he intends to grow sports at the grassroots by introducing youth competitions in different sports with emphasis on areas like Ajegunle and other densely populated communities that have abundant talent. SA Brumer, a three-time World Athletic Championship indoors and outdoors medalist, is seeking to become the second Nigerian to compete in the final of the Diamond League. She was confirmed for the Xiamen China meeting this Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. According to Brume's coach Kayode Yahaya, who was part of Team Nigeria squad to the 19th World Athletics Championship in Budapest, said the long jumper has arrived in China. Brume, who narrowly missed a podium finish by placing fourth in the long jump in Budapest, is in China for the 12th leg of Diamond League to earn the points that would enable her join her compatriot Toby Amusa in Eugene, Oregon, USA. In the fortnight, the Diamond League final will hold at the Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, US. This month, Amusa will be seeking to become the second woman after Dawn Nelson Harper to win the high hurdles 3 consecutive times. For more on sports, here's Sharon Ajay's report.
Nigerians under-18 women's handball coach Shitu Agbiola has invited 18 players for camping in preparation of the 19th African Women's Youth Nations Championship, scheduled to hold in Monestiers, Tunisia from the 16th to the 23rd of September 2023, and will serve as a qualifier for the 2024 Youth Handball World Cup. Those invited are primarily comprised of players who went unbeaten all through the IHF Trophy African Zone 3 phase in Ghana and the IHF Trophy African Continental phase in Abidjan. Ivory Coast to qualify for the IHF Trophy Intercontinental phase, which will be held later in the year. Camping commenced on Wednesday with the players arriving at Rowe Park Sports Center in Yaba, Lagos, to begin intensive preparation ahead of the championship. In the world of football, Real Madrid are closing in on signing Kylian Mbappe following the reduction of the €250 million to €50 million offer by the PSG owners in Qatar. Mbappe signing could reportedly take place this weekend. Mbappe would be on a contract worth around €50 million per year, making him the highest earner in Real Madrid, although it will be lower than what he earns at the PSG. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
That's it on Global TV News Express, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidima Jefferson, thanking you so very much for watching. Have a great day.